Hello, you guys. This was a very difficult subject for me. So, could you please bear with me? And I promise you will enjoy. Thank you. Welcome back to my weight loss experience. Today, we're going to be talking about your account. And your account is the things that you experience from childhood up into adulthood. And I know you're probably wondering, what does this have to do with my weight loss? Well, oftentimes we only focus on the food and the exercise. And these are the very basic contributing factors to weight gain and weight loss. But there's a bigger picture outside of those two things. You have a lot of contributing factors that influence weight loss that happens physiologically and psychologically. So today we're going to focus on the psychological part of it, which is our mental and emotional health. I'm not an expert, so take this and you can come up with your own conclusions about it. This is the things that I've experienced, so I would like to share with everyone to base shine light on the things that I'm working on within me to change me as a person and also help me throughout my weight loss experience. Okay, so like I said, we have psychological factors that happen. It's not to say that anyone is crazy or have any type of mental health issues, but this is something that is often overlooked. Okay, so when everyone is talking about the self-love and the self-care, and that has a very big effect on how we see ourselves. So from the time we're born with all this love, peace, joy, compassion, and happiness. And if you look at a baby, the only time they really get sad or upset or anything of that nature is when they're hungry, they're hurting, or they're upset in some type of way. And this happy little baby, they experience life through their parents, and then as they grow older, they have friendships and other family members, different intimate relationships as an adult. Their love can either be built up or it can be empty and broken. And when we go through things like abuse, neglect, criticism, or bullying, it can create compulsions and different type of addictions in our life. And we can develop emotional eating, alcoholism, drug use, compulsive spending, hoarding, bad habits, people-pleasing habits. And these things can have a direct effect on how we feel about ourselves and develop any type of eating disorder. You're gonna eat to make yourself feel good, or you're gonna eat whenever you're in a bad mood or you go through any type of trauma. But these things also have an effect on our self-worth and how we feel about ourselves. And we repeat these cycles because this is the things that we're accustomed to. These are the things that we're used to. These are the things that define us because we internalize the things that happen to us and the experiences that we go through. And the people we choose and attract to ourselves continue this type of abuse because we haven't dealt with the things that we've been through, especially if we've been in abusive relationships with our intimate partner, or we saw abusive relationships as a child. These things have a direct effect on our choices. We may not see it at first, but if you pay attention to the things that happen to you throughout your childhood, they have a direct effect on how we feel about ourselves as an adult. How do we change this? We change this by we start investing love back into ourselves. Start having self-respect, self-love, gratitude. Prioritize our time for ourselves. We learn to say no when it's at our expense. We we treat ourselves, maybe do our nails, or go and get our nails done and our feet, or buy a new outfit, or just focus on spending time with ourselves and building ourselves up. We can read a book and focus on how we can bring different types of value to our life. We make better choices. We embrace our failures. We learn from our mistakes, and we don't criticize ourselves, and we believe in ourselves and our gifts. And we do all these things, and we put this love back into ourselves, and it builds the confidence in the things that we need to have growth of. And one thing that I realized about learning my self-worth is, and how I promoted the growth and healing in my life is, it took me a while to understand, because I was this people pleaser person. It felt good for me to help others, but me helping others, I often neglected myself, especially when it came to my children. I would give them everything, and I would make sure they were dressed and all that stuff, but I would neglect my appearance, and because I would be focused on them. And then I taught them that they needed to have a better education, a career, financial health, great health for themselves. Because I always tell my son, especially my oldest one, my little one doesn't really quite understand at this point, but you only get one body. You must take care of it. I felt like because I had abused mine as far as, the gaining the weight and, bad foods and not exercise, I was unworthy in some type of not having a better life. And that came from those destructive relationships that I had in my past, and I internalized those things, and that became my self-worth. But once I started to change, I realized that I put all this responsibility on my children. And I'm telling them that they need to do all these things, and I haven't invested these things in myself. We are an example to our kids, and we must learn to embody the things that we want them to become. They learn by what they see. So if they don't see you trying to achieve your goals and trying to do things, for yourself, then that's not going to push them to do the things that you desire for them to have. I told them that I don't want them to be like me. I want them to be better than me. Well, if my better is around and accepting the things that I have been dealt and not making a choice to change for myself, then how am I supposed to want them to strive to do better? So I had to embody what I wanted for my kids in order to lead them in the right direction. I had to change my mindset, and I had to love myself, and I had to create rules in order to have the things that I desire, because I deserved it just as much as they do. I deserve to have a better life for myself, to continue my education, to work on my credit, to work on my financial health as far as investing and things of that nature. I just hadn't gotten into that mindset that I wasn't even worthy of having those things. And that's why I say that your mental health has a great deal to do on your weight loss journey, because how you feel about yourself is the things that you're going to invest in yourself, and it also determines whether you're going to be successful or you're going to fail throughout your journey. So you really have to take those things into account, and you really have to look at yourself and say, how do I feel about myself? Do I love myself? Am I giving myself the time and the things that I need? Do I have any anger, resentment, anxiety, or addiction, depression that is stopping me from accomplishing my goals? Are these things manifesting within me? Because the people who have done these things to you, or the people that hated this self-worth that you feel about yourself, it has nothing to do with you. That is what's in them, and that's a direct reflection of how they feel about themselves and the things that they put on you. If you have this love and this peace and this joy and this happiness within yourself, these are the things that you're going to attract to yourself. So you have to look at you and figure out how you're feeling inside and how you really feel about yourself. Because whenever we have some type of lack in our life, it shows up. And for me, it showed up for me in the form of 389 pounds. 389 pounds. That's all of the things that were going on within me and grew to this point. And I'm telling y'all, like, until I really looked at myself, I was like, I don't value myself. I don't have any type of self-respect for myself, because I'm looking on the outside to get other people to make me happy when it's me all along that makes me happy. And that's what you have to see. You don't need anyone to make you happy. You can make yourself happy. You love on yourself. When you love on yourself and you doing all these things for yourself, and I'm not talking about just buying things. I'm talking about you have to give out forgiveness. You, like I said, you have to make better choices. When you start to make better choices for yourself and you have that self-respect, you're not going to take disrespect from someone else. You're not going to take abuse from someone else. And like I said, when you start to grow the things of love and compassion and all that stuff inside of you, those are the things that you're going to attract. You no longer attract those abusive relationships. You're going to spot those mile away, because like I said, when you have a self-respect for yourself, you're not going to allow someone to come in your life and treat you any type of way. So we have to look at these things so we can promote growth and healing, and these things help us be successful during our weight loss journey. Thank you guys for watching, and please like, share, subscribe, and comment.